Good afternoon, traders. This is my first video teaching people how to use the scan feature on Thinkorswim. I started right here on the home page real quick. So basically, the scan tool is right up here on Thinkorswim here. You just click on that, and bottom line is I have no criteria currently being scanned for. If you hit the button, whatever watch list you're scanning from, it's going to give you 100% everything in that watch list. So if you're doing all stocks, you're getting over 15,000 hits. And realistically, especially during regular trading hours, you cannot do scans of that magnitude. The system resources are just way too big. So you have to reduce your scan set into something that's more manageable that you can deal with. Okay. And as traders, that's what we're looking for. It's a very powerful tool from Thinkorswim that really can help you, hone what type of stocks you want to look for, what kind of, you can take whatever type of trader you want to be. You can create a watch list that will, help you hone into what type of investments you want to focus in on. Okay. So that's why it's a very powerful tool. This is 101, like I said. So today I am just going to talk about the stock button. Okay. So how this is basically 101. First thing you can do here is with the stock button. So when you push that button right there, it gets you right over here. It gives you a lot of different selections right here. Okay. And so for the most part, uh, this right here, okay, what you're scanning for on this stock, you are getting a little bit of option selections here, but for the most part, it is mostly uh, stock-based information here, okay? So basically, what you can do here, so basically what you're seeing is some, your ask, your close, your open, uh, you know, uh, back volatility. So you're getting a little bit of option action results from this scan right here. Bid size. Then you can go with this call sizzle index or the put sizzle index. See if they're really active calls, really active puts on a particular security based off of your watch list. Okay. Um, so that is last high front volatility. So that means the options that are expiring like this week, are they getting really high implied volatility premium in those options? A lot of times you'll see that going into earnings or a great big news event, or are you getting more implied volatility into the back options? So like say next week or next month or next 2-3 weeks from now, are we getting more implied volatility building in the back option expirations versus the front expirations? So this scan right here gives you quite a bit of information, just the very first setting right here. Number two, all stocks, that's just way too big of a list to start with, okay? I personally prefer one of my favorites. I come all the way down here to public to the bottom. This is default with Thinkorswim, and I prefer the weeklies. That way, I'm only dealing with stocks that have weekly expiration on all the exchanges, on the U.S. stock exchanges. So that dramatically limits my watch list to about 560 stocks, okay, or 560 tickers, not stocks, tickers, okay. So that includes like SPY, the Qs, the IWM. You're getting a bunch of the ETFs as well, okay, the ones that have weekly expirations. So definitely something to think about here. That I prefer that. So I've already limited my search criteria for like 560, 570 stocks. Okay. And if I want to know for sure, you notice I don't have anything selected. All I do is hit the button right there. There you go. 613. Okay. That's how many are in that list because I have not selected any criteria yet. Okay. So we're going to go through this real quick. Say the ask. You know, it's really simple here. I want I don't even want to look at any stocks below $100. Okay, so I want the ask has to be above $100, or I am not even going to look at it. Hit scan. There you go. You're down 191 names. Okay, and then the top column here, you can sort depending on what criteria you want to sort on. Okay. So I added some columns. This is not the custom setup with Thinkorswim. You have to customize your columns. And if you ever want to customize your columns, you just right click right up here, customize, and then you add or subtract data sets depending on what you're looking for. Okay, I wasn't going to go to the trouble to putting it back to factory settings just so I could teach for an educational video. The things that I did add here that I do prefer, like having on my charts, I do like having. Let me go here. I like having mark percent change. This will give you the percent change in the pre-market session. So if you just put percent change on your chart or on your watch list, it does not, this does not update until the cash session opens. The mark percent change actually gives you the live percentage movements in stocks in the pre-market session. So I really like using that. I also like having beta. This shows you the implied move of a security for every dollar move on the SPX. So the SPX moves, AMD is typically going to move 2.6 times that move on the SPX. That does not mean direct correlation. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for for every dollar move, you typically see a $2.60 move in the AMD. Okay, that's not. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation. Okay, just want to give you. That's what beta is great about. So you can always sort on beta. See, if you just click on the name, that actually lets you sort your watch list. Okay, so like right now, so basically on the weeklies, these are the highest beta names right here, right now, as of Friday close, and these change constantly. Okay, and so we had a big news event, regulations coming in on big cryptos. Came in the news after hours. It was supposed to be after hours. I don't think he actually talked about it. So actually, that could have changed versus the historical value. Bitcoin is one of the top ones going into the weekend. But yeah, these do vary. These do change. The betas do, and then you can always sort based on price to earnings. Here we are in a corrective phase in the market. So the ones that typically are going to get hit the hardest are the ones that have the highest price to earnings. Okay, and right now, we're going into next week. We got earnings. I'm thinking this is going to most definitely get hit. They have huge European exposure with all the Crimea thing, or the high, yeah, all the Ukraine thing going on, and this is probably going to get a haircut. So so this here, these high priced earnings ratios, these are probably the most likely candidates to take some further haircut if the markets continue lower. Salesforce earnings are coming up. Salesforce could be taking a haircut. You never know. I mean, these still, we saw really, really good NVIDIA numbers this past week, and they did not get rewarded. Okay, that was Thursday night, I think they came out, and boy, you know, you really had good earnings, you had fairly good guidance and everything, but because NVIDIA's price to earnings multiples were so high, and we're in a corrective phase in the market. It was buy the rumor, sell the news immediately. Okay, and I'm thinking Booking is going to have the same thing, possibly Salesforce. All these at the top of the list here, definitely things to think about going forward here. Okay, let me get back. That was getting off to into a tangent. So, okay, guys. So basically, so that's the ask. Back volatility. So basically, you just type in here. I can't remember what type of settings you would put in here. Let's say 10. Okay, I can't remember it. 10%. There you go. 600. So we're getting 613 for 10%. Uh, say we have a back volatility of 60%. Let's put that. Let's see if that'll work. There you go. That limits your set. Back vol. So basically, you do these scans, and from day to day, by comparing your back volatility versus your front volatility, you can get an idea of which direction money flows are headed. You do this scan day after day. You get a pretty good idea in your mind where big money is taking prices. So just heads up on that. They're just a simple scans. Like I said, you can scan on beta. You can limit the number of output you get based on beta. Hey, I want a minimum on beta to be at least 50. That's going to make your scan. That's going to uh, there you go. For some reason it's not showing. Oh, this right here. Delete. Sorry. Delete. And you can just leave the other field just completely open, and delete tab. Okay, okay. Yeah. Let's say 2. There you go. Beta at least 2. Scan. There you go. 100 of them. Okay. And oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong. I was looking over here. But yeah, so you're looking for everything that has at least a beta of 2 in theory. Okay. Um, yeah, it's showing some other stuff too here. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But at any rate, in theory, that is supposed to be a minimum of 2 and up to 5. We're getting a different, some reason we're getting different um, results here. So, at any rate, yeah, this just gives you some idea here. And then you have your call sizzle index. I don't know. Say you want a call sizzle of, I don't know. Let's start with 5 and see where. I can't remember what the index, the actual numbers are there involved for the index. Okay, minimum 5. I don't know. Minimum 1, I guess. Let's see here. That might be a negative. Uh, So there you go. You got 179 popping up here on that one as well. So basically, this gives you some ideas. You have to play with it and learn what all these mean and what type of numbers you need to put in for this scan to actually work. Okay. Earnings per share, you can look for things with, high or low earnings per share. You can be looking at the bottom, uh, you know, uh, earnings per share. I don't know. You want earnings per share 500,000 or something. I don't know. You're getting or 5 million or something. I don't know. Just poke it in there, see what happens. You got uh you know basically 3 tickers that on the scan showing I don't know what that is. I don't know. But at any rate, you play with it and you can see how to do this. And like I said, I'm not a big aficionado on everything here, but some things to look at. Other things you can do volume scans. Okay, this is one I do quite often. I look for a million shares every day before I'll even mess with anything. So you have 548 stocks that have been trading over 1 million shares. That was just Friday. Okay, and the problem is with something like the volume scanner. If you put a fixed volume scanner, if you're trying to use it intraday, obviously the volume intraday is going to build as the day goes on. Okay, so sometimes you'll have to do volume scans using the steady feature, and you would have to do volume based off the day before. That would be your initial scan, and then you couldn't actually use today's volume if you did something like the volume scan. If you're trying to find a quick list while the market's open, that's volatility index, what ranking we have on the volatility index, what it is right now versus historic volatility. Is it is volatility, I don't even know what the criteria see, it's 251. If you just click on it, that's the high end. The volatility index low end right there. So let's say 100. Let's see, 100%. There you go. You know, so bottom line is, if you want to see how what values are the upper and lower, if you just, when it's empty, if you click on it, it will fill that with the highest range you can put in versus the lowest range you can put in. Okay. And then, that'll help you identifying uh, different things here. You can look at yields, dividend yields, weighted back, how much more volume do we have in the back end, like a month or so versus what we have on the front end. Okay, a lot of times you'll see that knowing that there's earnings coming up in the future, they will be heavily weighted in the back end on open interest. Okay, so this weighted back end is measuring weight open interest I think I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's looking at open interest before we came into today. So this right here is actually probably not even looking at the current day's volume in that study. So remember, you'd have to look it up real quick, but I would venture to say that it's taking into account the prior day's open interest on something like that. Okay. And then percent change, and everybody wants to see percent change, I want to look for anything that's up 1% to open today, there you go. It can be, and so scan, there you go. Everything that was up 15% Friday, uh, you know, uh, there you go, percent change over here. Okay. And there you go, 1%. So this was actually working right. So, you have to play with it. I'm sure all these scans are working right. TOS works fine. I probably don't have something right, even on that beta. Uh, some of these indicators that I got these from other people. Okay. So, you want to try to use a TOS indicator that that is actually for sure is accurate. And how you know that, customize, if you've ever downloaded stuff, if it's got that lock feature right there, that means it comes default with thinkorswim. Okay. And so you have to be careful. Some of these right here, these may be studies that I have actually installed over the years. Okay. And they may not actually have been default. So just keep that in mind. And if you're getting a study from somebody else, see, I got beta on my watch list there, right there. That might be the one that I have installed, and that's why I got wrong the results, because I got this from an individual and they got it's coded wrong. Okay, you want to be going with something, like make absolutely sure that you do have a study that has been validated and is accurate. Okay, yeah, if you're trying to do add columns and stuff, in my opinion. So heads up on that. So basically, this is a basic primer. If you have any questions, I'm more than willing to entertain. Put them at the bottom of the video. I am going to make it public, okay? So it'll make it easier for you to put comments at the bottom. And hopefully this is a good primer for 101 scanning. I know a lot of people have asked me how to scan on thinkorswim. So bottom line is, this one here is going to be a one video. The options will be a one video. Fundamentals will probably be one video. But when we get to study, that might be several videos on that one, because there are so many things you can do with that study feature. It just blows your mind, okay? And especially when you start mixing everything together, because I'm telling you, some of these studies, I have really got them complicated here. I don't know. I don't know. High volume pass. I don't know. Like Bollinger Band squeeze, not just one. Okay. I'm just gonna go real quick here, see if I can find one of them real quick. Some of these more advanced scans I've got here. Above all pivots. There you go. See, look how I got all these stacked up. I've got some studies that I've got 10, 12 different criteria, in these studies to hone down to exactly what I'm looking for on some of these studies. And they work. They work fine, this one here is looking for everything above all the pivots. We're coming into today. We closed out the week. This thing is the most bullish of anything in the market because we're above all the pivots. Buyback should be bought every time until we start breaking pivots, and that's this here is one of my most bullish scans. Going into the weekend, and but of course we had a really bad weekend. Of course, bad close last week, but um, so, I don't know. I have to double check these, make sure everything's okay. Uh, but heads up on that. The AMD shouldn't be on that scan, so heads up on that. I'll have to double check that and make sure on my charts. So don't take any of this information right here, because I always, if I once I go bring it all up, I do validate, making sure that what I've actually got here, that something didn't get changed in my scanning. So I want to make sure you know that, okay, guys, before you take this scan down here to heart and start loading up to the off that this was just for educational purposes only. And I was not sitting here trying to point out stuff down here to be going into and taking first thing Tuesday morning, because we do have a 3-day weekend. Okay, thanks a lot, and I will see you in the trading rooms. Oh yeah, please retweet my videos and like the videos, please, please. I need to get the faster upload speeds, and Google will only do that if I start getting around 500 views on each video, guys. And so, and we're still below 100, so we've really got to, everybody's got to work together here so I can start getting a lot of views on these educational videos and stuff. Okay, thanks a lot.